Hello, marketers. As now we are aware with the different kinds of events and parameters that we can send to Google Analytics, now we are going to create a custom event so that we can send a custom event or a custom action that is being performed on our website through a user to Google Analytics, and that could be noted or tracked in the Google Analytics, and we can then analyze the number of users performing that kind of action, or the number of times the user is performing that, or you can also determine the most engaging events or the most engaging elements on our website by tracking these events. So right now I'm going to implement a custom event through Google Tag Manager. Let us go through it. So I'm in the Google Tag Manager of my website, and right now we would like to implement some custom events. So as I've already mentioned, a page view is also an event. It's also sent as an event to Google Analytics. So I'm going to send a page view when a user visits a page on my website. So for that, we need to initially configure the GFO. As we have installed GFO on our website right now, we are going to send a page view event to Google Analytics. For that, we need to create an event based tag. So here we need to use the tag type as GA4 event, as we are sending GFO events to the server. So we configure the tag type as GA4 event, and here we need to add the configuration tag. As in GA3 we use the GA tracking code over here, but here we are going to use the configuration tag that we have configured GA4 on a website, and then we need to name the event name as contact us. So I'm going to send an event when a user visits the contact us page in my Pujanidhi website. And also I'm sending some custom parameters like the URL name is the page path that he's visited, and also the referrer before visiting this page. And these are the parameters. These are custom parameters that I'm sending along with this event. And here we can also add some user properties like the characteristics or something that is very unique that could be identified by the user. So like we can define them as a low value customer or a high value customer while they do a purchase, or when they add something to the cart we can specify some user properties such who would buy high value products or who add products to the cart that are of high value. So the user properties can be mentioned here, but right now as we are in the initial stage, we are going to send the event parameters, and that too the custom event parameters along with this page view event. And this tag sequencing is very important because these tags should fire only after the GA4 configuration tag has fired on our website, because if in case this GA4 configuration tag isn't fired, then this data would not be sent to Google Analytics, as this tag fires before this one. So we have to keep a tag sequencing which mentions that a tag should fire before this actual tag. So the tag that should fire before this tag is the GA4 configuration tag. This would first configure GA4 on our website and then send this event or some other events that we configured to the GA4 server. And the trigger we use for triggering this event is the contact us page. That is when the users visit the contact us page in the website. For that, we need to use a page view trigger. Here we have different trigger types. These are all the trigger types we can use, and we'll go through all of these or use some of them while creating some of our events. So right now we are using a page view event. So this is a page view trigger, and we need to apply some conditions like the page URL contains contact us. This is the page URL. This is the page path. So I mention it as the page URL should contain this one, and this is the trigger for this event to this event to tag or fire on our website. And I'm saving this and just preview it and see whether this event is being registered or not, and we shall check these reports in the real-time reports of analytics. So we have visited a site and need to see if the Google configuration tag has fired. So this is the tag assistant where you can check whether the tags have been fired or not. And here we can see the GA4 tag has fired here. And then now I'm going to the contact us page and let us see if an event would trigger mentioning the contact us and the parameters associated with that. So if you can see in the tag manager, tag assistant, So when the container loaded, the GFO configuration tag is fired and the GFO contact is event that we have sent. So the event name along with the custom parameters that we have sent have been added over here. So we have added the URL name and then also the page referrer. So this is the URL name, that is the contact us, and then we have the page referrer as the Pujanidhi, the home page. So these parameters are sent through Google Tag Manager to GFO, and let us see where these values are registered. As we are on the website right now, we can see these reports in the real-time reports. So this is the place where the real-time events would be captured and a page view is automatically registered because this is an automatically collected event and the user engagement, session start, these are all automatically collected events. But the thing is we have sent a custom event, that is the page view event over here, that is contact us. So the contact us event is trigger and also it has these parameters. That is all these are automatically collected parameters, but there are some parameters that I have sent. These are the custom parameters, that is the URL name. So this is the event parameter URL name custom parameter that I have sent, and this is the parameter value. And then we also have the page referrer. So this is the page referrer. So these are the values that we have sent along with this event, and we also have the page title. This is automatically collected. So these are all the parameters associated with this event that we have sent with this contact us page view event. And we can then later on, after a few hours after this data get updated into our engagement event section, we can analyze these events and see the number of contact us page view events are triggered by users. So here we have the graphical representation of the event count by the event name, and then we also have the other graphical representations, and here we have the set of events that we have triggered. Here we have the contact us event, and these are the event metrics we have, that is the event count, that is the number of times that is event has triggered and the number of users who have triggered these events and the average number of events that a user has triggered and the revenue that we get, and this revenue could be calculated by the event value we sent it as a parameter, a custom parameter. And for some other event metrics we can go to the event section over here, and here we have the list of all the events that we have collected. So this is the contact us event that we have collected. So this is the count, the number of times this event has triggered, and there is also percentage change. That is, these values will be updated once we have a difference from the old and new values, the change or the difference between that, and it will be represented in the form of percentages. And the users is the number of users who have triggered those events. So contact us event is being triggered by me, so it has one user, and these events, all these events can be marked as conversions as we have already discussed. And now we are going to implement one more event. As right now we have just implemented the page view event, we are going to implement a button click event. So for that we need to create a tag, and let us see on this Pujani the website what's the button click we are going to track. So I would like to track this shop now button. So I would like to track the users who have clicked on this shop now button, and then send an event to GA4 mentioning the number of events that occurred for this particular action. For that, we need to create a GFO event. As I have already mentioned, we can create events in several ways, whether through GTM or through GA. There's also a way to create events within GA4 too, but right now I'm going to create it through GTM and show you the different kinds of triggers that we can use to create the different custom events. Or we can also create the recommended events from this, and the recommended events would be implemented and practically in the enhanced e-commerce section where we have an e-commerce site, so that we can implement the recommended events related to our e-commerce business vertical. So we are going to implement the general events right now. Let us see the button click event we are going to send. So as we have done in the previous event section, the tag type should be the GFO event and the configuration tag should be the GFO configuration tag. And now I'm going to name this event as button underscore click. And the parameters I would like to send with this event are the button click, that is the text on the button. And we can also send some other event parameters, like we can add another, and we can send the page where they have clicked the, or the page part. It is the page on which they have made this action. And these are the variables we have in GTM. So this is the page path. We can make use of this and then send this events to analytics. And the trigger for this would be a click trigger. So we're going to click on all elements, and here the click text is shop now, as you can see over here in the click. I'm going to click on this, and then these click variables would be registered in tag assistant, and then we can identify these clicks with the click text or the click URL. But here the click text is shop now, so I'm using this as a trigger to trigger condition as click text contains shop now. So whenever this trigger or these conditions are met, these tags get fired and these events are sent to Google Analytics 4. So we have configured this button click event tag, and I'm saving it and again previewing my tag manager, and then we can see it in the real time or the debug view reports of our analytics. And now I'm clicking on the shop now, and let us see it in the real time reports. See, here we have the events in the real time report, and we have got a button click, and we are going to get the parameters associated with that too, like the button click and the event or the click text is shop now. So this is a parameter associated with button click. So when we have this button click, as we have converted it as a conversion, it's also coming under conversions. And if we could check it in the debug view mode too, because we're in the debug view. So all these events will be get detected over here too. So if you can identify over here, we have the button click. In this debug view, we have the button click. This is the button click. So we can see all the parameters associated with that. We have the button click, and the button click, we have the shop now. So this is the data that we are sending, and the other data is automatically collected parameters with that. And this button click is with a flag symbol, which means it's a conversion right now, but we'll talk about it later. But the thing is, we have sent the button click and also the parameter associated with that. So the button click and also the page path that we have sent, it's on the home page. So the page path is just slash, so and all the other parameters. So this is how the custom events are sent, and also the custom parameters associated with the event are sent to Google Analytics, and that could be analyzed, and later on we can find them in the engagement events report. So I hope you're clear with right now with the event section and the engagement section and the different parameters and the metrics we have to measure these events, like the event count on the users count and the event count per user. So these are the metrics that are associated with the events that we send or the events that are collected in GA4. And we would be doing much more advanced events implementation in the next video. And I hope you're clear with all this. And we're going to implement it in the next video regarding the form submit event. Thank you.